Hello everyone, hello. Welcome in, my name is, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Vesper Fortune, Bad of Fortune, Witch of Fate. And I'm here to help you change yours. Thank you for coming into my shop. I have a lot of little things to help you change your fate. If not, maybe it's just a little talk or some divination you need to help you find the right path. And I'm here with you tonight with the worst posture a person can have ever while streaming. But welcome in, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well. For those of you who don't know, I currently do not have a chair. So my setup is very, very strange and weird. So if you hear creaks, groans, moans, or any other sorts of ghosts, that's because, yeah, that is the setup. Also, if my computer blows up, that's also because of the setup. I hope everyone's doing well. Currently, I have spent most of the day in anxiety because one of the niece bats technically is supposed to be on a date. Technically, not 100% sure. And and not to mention we have one of the some extended family over, and I had to watch the nieces while they dealt with them, which is always anxiety inducing. But other than that, I'm very happy, very, very excited to do today's Alliance Way tier list because I have opinions. Opinions don't matter in the grand scheme of things, but I hope, like, they interest people. Oh, wait, did I even change my thing? Did I even change my... There we go. Hopefully we got all that done. Let's see here. Yeah, I think we're good for the moment. And, let's see here. What else has happened today? Or do I have any other announcements? I'm not sure how streaming is going to look for the next few weeks until I either find a more comfy way to stream or you know, do something about the chair situation. We may end up on a different sort of schedule, which may be enjoyable, which may not. I may switch over to morning streams, maybe? It will depend. Like, I'm very interested in the idea of morning streams. Oh yeah, that's better. That's better. Yeah, I'm currently sitting on the floor, chat. I am currently sitting on the floor. But, I've been thinking about morning streams. I'm not sure if it'll interest anyone else, but, it's been on my mind to stream during the day when I may be at my better. When I may be better. But I think I'm working the night shift pretty well. Working 5 to 9. What a way to make a living. Working 5 to 9. Working 5 to 9. Tea. I can also currently have very super sugary tea with me, so I'm a little hyped up. After we do the Alliance Way tier list, which I will go over the criteria in a minute. I'll go over the criteria in a minute. We may play some Final Fantasy if I can find a place to put my controller without overturning everything and without having the computer explode from the heat. I currently like where my mic is set because it's just right underneath me and it does not get in the way of any buttons. However, my legs are on top of each other. My huge, meaty legs. So I'm like actively like doing all the leggy movements, uncrossing, recrossing, undercrossing, overcrossing, doing eldritch limb movements to keep myself cool. Because while fall, oh, I love fall so much. While fall has finally settled in with its nice, cool temperatures, my room runs hot. It runs hot until winter, where it runs incredibly cold because of the poor circulation in the room. We have like a bunch of holes, like from where we tore out carpet in the observatory. So like, not to mention the room has always had poor circulation even before we ripped out the carpets, but the ripping out of the carpets made it worse. So it's just naturally runs too hot or runs too cold. It's never just right, and not to mention with the machines in here, which include a PS5 and a PS4, which sometimes are both on, it gets very hot very fast. Fortunately, in the winter, that's not much of a problem. Anytime else, though. But I love that we're finally in the cool part of fall. I'm hoping to see snow this winter. I'm really a snow enjoyer. Very much like Jessie from Pokemon. It's like, snow? Let me in there. And of course, we have reached the defrosting of the great primal Mariah Carey. The great mistress of ice and snow and holiday cheer is back. Because SCP does not know how to contain Mariah Carey. She's too powerful once the prayers reach through. She is too powerful once the prayers reach through to the ice prison. But actually, I kinda enjoy, Christmas as much as I do Halloween, I will not lie. I very much enjoy buying gifts and making gifts, like gift giving. I'm very much the perfect gift giver. I put thought into everything I do usually. And I like go through like a person's likes and dislikes. I love Christmas. The whole season is nice. Yeah. Not to mention, this may be heresy, but I enjoy the flavor of mint more than I do pumpkin spice. I enjoy the flavor of mint more than pumpkin spice. Like, I know, heretical, right? For a creepy person like me, what I just said may as well get me burned at the stake. But I said what I said, and I'll say what I say. I like peppermint more than pumpkin spice. What kind of basic bitch are you? I I'm very much a Christmas bitch, unfortunately. Like, I love Halloween, like the aesthetic and stuff. The tastes. Like, Christmas has more of like an overall like food thing that I enjoy. So like it's Christmas for like food and tastes. Cause like Halloween is mostly candy, and like that's fine. But maybe I need to get into Samhain more. But I know it's not pronounced Samhain, but I'm basic white and American. It's Samhain to me. But I love peppermint too. Yeah, peppermint is I enjoy pumpkin spice. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not. I I'm the peppermint to my friend's pumpkin spice. I'll say that. I'm the peppermint to my friend's pumpkin spice. Like, I'm very much the I'll put peppermint in anything once it comes around. I'm very much a person who would keep peppermint in the kitchen all year round for everything. Like for me, peppermint season is all year round. Spooky season and peppermint season. Now, if I had spooky peppermint season, that'd be perfect. A special version of snacks I put out on Christmas. Yeah, they just put out oh, hey Litro, thank you for the lurk. Mwah. Thank you for lurking. Have a nice lurk. I loved your Renaissance playthrough. I hope you have better luck. Hopefully you can get some healing skills. But yeah, I like Christmas snacks as well. Like, I like that there's like little like Christmas snackies out and gift snacks, and you just don't see those out any time of the year besides Christmas. And I'm like, I always want to buy snacks for friends. Let us have casual gift givings. Let us have casual gift givings all year round. But yeah, it's like peppermint season has started. Mariah Carey has taken over the world. It's that time of year. It's Christmas. It's Christmas. Little white chocolate covered Oreos. Oh yeah. Yeah. I think they have not sure if they have like peppermint Oreos that come out. I know that they tend to re-release the red velvet ones around this time of year, I think. And I'm trying to think of other snacks. I know that this is time for the gingerbread Mountain Dew and the cranberry Sprite. I still need to try those, so I might grab those next time I'm out. Because I know that they're probably already putting out the cranberry Sprite, because that's a Thanksgiving thing. You love the cranberry Sprite? I've been meaning to try it. I just can't. It's like the last time it happened, we left the mystical bad Dollar General store. but I need to try the cranberry Sprite and the gingerbread Mountain Dew, though. I feel like the gingerbread Mountain Dew carries with it a grand curse. The grandest of curses. Christmas album when, by the way? I'll do what Poppy did and make a metal Christmas album. I'll make a metal Christmas album. Or I'll do like Lady Gaga and make it very too sexual for anyone to actually enjoy it. I'll do a Christmas tree cover if anyone wants to be Space Cowboy in the song. That'll be the Christmas music I do. But let's see here. I'll give it a few more minutes so we can get people in. Is that one album too where they took Christmas songs and did them in minor key and all that? Yeah, I haven't heard that, but now I want to because that sounds incredibly spooky. Imagine like a Christmas music cover of Lavender Town. That would be silly. But now I want it. Okay, which one of these is my... What's wrong with my... There we go. I'm having hot takes day, so I need to look hot. It's hot take day, so we're gonna look hot. Well, it's not gonna be too hot takey, but we'll give it a few more. Let's see here. Let me check and see. Okay, but yeah, Christmas. I wish there was more like casual gift giving, and it's not like we save up all the gifts for birthday and Christmas, and when we do shit wrong, we imagine how big a casual gift giving culture would be. Though we can't really casually gift when gift. We can't casually gift. We can't casually gift when capitalism is slowly killing us all. That's probably why we don't have a casual gift-giving culture. Capitalism is killing us all. Ah, well. It's fine. I say as we suffer capitalism. I swear this channel is not political. I just hate capitalism. Who doesn't? But, yeah. I think there'd be like... I think there's like a very good interest in casual gift giving. And now I need to actually work on some of my gifts, because I've been meaning to work on stuff for a whole lot of people for Christmas, since I can't buy anything. Since I can't buy anything because these ads ain't getting me shit. Twitch, pay me more. Twitch, pay me more. I'm running your ads. I'm running your ads, Twitch. I'm running them. Oh, speaking of which, when ads start, I may have something interesting for everyone. I may have something interesting for everyone. But I think I've given... Oh, wait. I forgot I need to do a thing. I forgot to, promote myself in another channel. Oh. Okay, and I need to, do it on the Twitter. The bird site. I will never call it X over my dead body. I will never call it X over my dead body. Aww. Nice. Fun. Gotta like that. Okay, I cannot spell... Spicy. Rate tier list. Link in bio. Oh yes, you all want to hear about them links in the bios. I kind of can't take bios seriously sometimes, because I keep thinking about the spell bio, and it's like, link in this super dangerous spell that kills everyone. Slowly. Because bio is usually the poison spell. And, which kind of makes sense, because I'm a scholar main, and bio is their main, is their dot spell, so... Okay, let me go to my gaming screen. Okay, window capture. Okay. Do you have it? Do you have it? Oh. Oh, this might help. Turning it on may actually help. Wait, should I turn off my overlay and we just do it full screen? Let's do it full screen. Let's do it live, everyone. Wait, is it big enough? Okay, it's big enough. Okay, now I need to be larger. Hold up. I need to be, extraordinary. Okay, I guess we'll zoom in a little. Now, I have spicy takes for everyone today. Let's see here. Is this big enough? Yes. And I don't care about covering the right side of the screen, because we need... Because I don't think any of these are gonna go as far as to, cover the whole screen. Go all the way to the right. So, we have every single alliance raid. So we're not doing this by like the whole. We're doing this one by one. So how we're going to do this is we're going to... The rating system will go by the kind of drops. They drop the glams, the minions, but mostly the glams and the minions. The arena design, and the cooldown walks, as I call them. The cooldown walks, because they give you enough time between areas for all your major 2-minute bursties to come off cooldown usually. And then we will talk about how we'll also talk about boss design and how much you have to respect the mechanics, because the big major thing about some of these is going to be how respectable versus disrespectable the entire raid is, and how mechanics are handled. And I'm going to be real. This is my experience as a crystal, as someone on crystal, not someone on aether, not someone on primal, not someone on dynamis, someone on crystal. This is my experience as a crystal player, which means I have had suckier players than most normal people. We have to respect mechanics more than most people. So this is why some of my takes will be spicy to the main FF14 community. Oh, wait, I don't have any audio. Let me go get some music. Let me go get music. Let me quickly get music. Let me leave everyone in the void. But first, music. Uh, uh. Let me get some... Well, is this copyright free? Is this copyright free? This might hurt me. Hold on. Hold on, let me mute this first. Yes, some music. Let me, is this copyright free? Can you please tell me if this is... Okay, you know what, let's just go with the video game lo-fi. Because it has some FF music in it. Is this the one I can... Which one of you is the one I can play on stream? Okay, this is good. This is good. Okay. Okay. Everyone ready for the spicy... Oh, hold on. I jumped down my Twitch on my phone. I need that. Hold up. I need that. Hold up. Okay. Let's start with a spicy outtake from the start. I have a spicy take from the start. So, we got Labyrinth of the Ancients. As I said, we're going by glam drops, we're going by Labyrinth arena design, cooldown walk design, the area design, basically. Oh, hold on. Let me turn that down a little bit more for myself. But we're going by boss design, area design. Ah, thank you. I'll check them out later. And we're going to be going over everything but story. We're going to do story later. Going to have a separate tier list for story after this one. So we're doing everything but the story connections, basically, for this one. So that's why we're rating all of them and not them as a group. Because I think the only reason you would need to like group them is for the story. So, we're going to start with Labyrinth of the Ancients. And we're going to be spicy about it because this is going into C tier. This is going into C tier. Now I will explain why. Comparatively to Circus Tower and World of Darkness, which is Circus Tower is this one, World of Darkness is this one. For those of you who are unfamiliar about watching my stream. Labyrinth of Darkness has more mechanics that you have to respect as a crystal player than Circus Tower. And I also enjoy its design more than Circus Tower. And honestly, I find most of the bosses are enjoyable, and also the mooks, the in-between trash fights, I find those enjoyable. There's only like really like 2 things I dislike. The only 2 fights I dislike are the long mook walk fight to the Bone Dragon. And I really like the Bone Dragon's arena, but I dislike the mook walk fight up to the Bone Dragon. And I dislike the Thanatos fight, though I think nobody really likes it because it's just a smack fest. There's not any... Yeah, I haven't even played Final Fantasy XIV. I think this is a spicy take. I think it's a spicy take for everyone. Because everyone hates the Crystal Tower raids in general, except for World of Darkness, but this is a spicy take, because, like, I put it in C. Honestly, I could move it to D, but there are 2-3 things that really heavy carry Labyrinth of Ancients to C. And that is, most of the other fights, you can't disrespect. I mean, Behemoth is an entire smack fight, but it's just a slap fight. You just DPS it down, but you still have to respect the mechanics. And there's this area with lava in it, and you fight 3 different mooks, like, and those mooks like kind of are a shell or like a protection for a bomb in the middle. You have to defeat all 3 of them. And I've seen wipes on this before. I've seen someone. I've been in an alliance that wiped to that, and I've been in multiple like fights in Labyrinth of the Ancients where there's at least one wipe somewhere. Not to mention, there's still mechanics you have to respect. Like, a lot of people want to shit on Crystal Tower as a whole, cause like the way that item level works, the way that armor sinking down works, it has literally like killed all 3 alliance raids. But there's still mechanics you have to respect in Labyrinth of the Ancients. There's still stuff that will kill you if someone is being stupid. Like, if tanks are being stupid on Behemoth, you could wipe. If an entire alliance is new on the lava mooks, as I mentioned before, that could be wipe. You still have to like send people to the Atomos platforms, which I'll admit I don't like as a whole. I like the concept that usually the execution is a failure because you will have tanks who provoke the ads back to where the tanks are, who are usually melee, who are usually dealing with the ads. So there's like one mechanic in Labyrinth of the Ancients where you have to stand on a platform. 5 members of the party have to stand on a platform, I think. So that means 3 party members are out there dealing with the actual like mooks. I think it's 5, it could be 4. That means only like half or less than half the party is actually dealing with the actual like thing they have to kill. Well, more mooks spawn from where the thing is, and usually what should be happening is that the mooks that spawn go to the people on the platform, and the people on the platform kill that, while the melees or whatever are dealing with whatever is not on the platform. But you can just be sitting there dealing with doing nothing as a melee. I mean, as a ranged or a healer, or as someone who is standing on the platform. But honestly, Labyrinth of the Ancients, to me, deserves to be at C. Just solely because I like the arena design. The arena designs are great. The entire area design is very nice, in my personal opinion. It is hard carried by like some of the mook fights and like the Behemoth fight. I mean, like, it's a very classic Behemoth fight. It's very focused on the meteors of the Behemoths in Final Fantasy XIV. And for those of you who don't know, in Final Fantasy in general, they gave these giant physical creatures the ability to summon meteors, cast meteors down onto your party, especially when they die. And also the glams for Labyrinth of the Ancients are sick. They're just amazing. And like, even though they now have recolors available in PvP, like this might, like the glams in Labyrinth of the Ancients are still like amazing. And like the colorways for most of them are pretty different, so if you want to still get the glams from the Labyrinth of Ancients, they're still available. They're still pretty good. But Labyrinth of the Ancients is respectable enough in mechanics to where it's carried to a C. It's carried to a C. Now, for the one we can all agree upon, this is going into F. Circus Tower. Circus Tower. This is the most awful thing to get in any roulette. Even though you can only get it in one, I dread it. Like, none of the bosses have mechanics you have to respect except for Amon. And it's only because he has a one-hit kill mechanic. I mean, the rest of his mechanics are annoying as shit, but he has a one-hit KO mechanic. I mean, so does the final boss, but he doesn't really matter as much. Like, this is the start of the third boss is tougher than the last boss kind of deal in these raids, but yeah, none of the mechanics need to be respected. None of the Mook fights are interesting. All of the arenas are basically the same. Like, most of them are just circular crystal platforms. Like, up until you get to Amon and the final boss, all platforms, all circular, none of them interesting. I'm getting out the angry face. I'm getting out the angry face. I'm getting out the angry face. Where's my angry face? There it is. But none of the mechanics in Circus Tower need to be respected. None. I like some of the mooks, but like some of them are just there to annoy you personally. Most of the fights are just like dragons. Like most of the fights are dragons. Yes, exactly. Like, none of Circus Tower is terribly interesting to me. Like it is the worst fight, and like it has the worst drops. Like it drops armor that looks like the villains, like the bosses of the tower. But that's not terribly good. Like not a lot of pieces are that interesting. Like, I like some of them, like the caster gloves, the healer gloves, and the boots are good. But like, none of them are dyeable. None of the sets from the Crystal Towers are dyeable. But it's more painfully prevalent in the uglier pieces. It's like, oh, it's ugly and it can be dyed. That's wonderful. But to be fair, it was a Realm Reborn, so I'm going to give it that. But there is nothing saving Crystal Tower, unlike Labyrinth of the Ancients or World of Darkness. Speaking of which, World of Darkness, the last raid of the Crystal Tower Alliance series. Now, this one, this will also not be a hot take. It's going into D tier. It's a strong D. it's nice. It's a strong D. It is mostly kept from F because it has mechanics you still have to respect. It has interesting design. It has an interesting arena design. It has mechanics you have to respect. But it is heavily weighed down by the fact that all of the I think all of the mini bosses, like the mooks, are all literally bosses from the Circus Tower. Thank you, Dirty. Thank you for the Tamagotchi, and I will take a drink. Tonight's drink is tea from Bojangles. Thank you. But yeah, what is weighing down World of Darkness most is the mooks. And honestly, the five-headed dragon is not a good fight at all, in my opinion. It may have been better when it was on release, but the five-headed dragon definitely feels like just like a giant slap fest in comparison to well, actually, like I said, most of the Crystal Tower series is just a giant smacking of all the enemies. Like, you have very minimal rotation, which kind of, like, sucks the enjoyment out of these alliance raids, but like I said, Labyrinth of the Ancients is sitting at a pretty nice C. Like I said, that is my spicy take of the entire evening. That's probably gonna be my spiciest take, though we're gonna hit the Endwalker raids, and I might get some hatred for what I'm gonna say. I might get some hate for what I'm gonna say about the Endwalker raids. But, let me just stretch a little more, cause, like I said, I am in the most horrid of postures. But yeah, the Crystal Tower cannot, compete solely due to being level 50 and just having the most horrid level sinks. And like the glam is still pretty good though. Like, there's still some items of glam. I would grab from all of these. Like, even Circus Tower has some good glam. Like, the glam design is fabu. Now, okay, we get to the ones I'm going to be less mean about. The ones that I'm going to be less spicy about. So, Void Arc. These are going to... Void Arc is definitely kind of in... It can go... Yeah, we'll keep it in D. We'll keep it in D because Void Arc is mostly a giant smackfest. It suffers from the same thing the rest of the Crystal Tower raids do. It suffers from the same thing because it is the very first Heavensward Alliance raid. None of the bosses have respectable mechanics, except for, like, Kuholin. Kuholin is definitely carrying it to D. Like, there are two main things that are carrying Void Arc to D. And it's, Kuholin, who has, like, a very interesting, elevation-based arena. Like, he has attacks that are based on elevation. And it's also a lot of the Mook fights, because the Mook fights are really interesting for Void Arc. And you don't really see them. Definitely don't see anything like them in the rest of the raid tiers, in my opinion. And I'm kind of sad about that. So, like, it's very carried by Kuholin and, the Mooks. Because, like, the very first boss has, like, no max. Like, he has max that you could probably get hit by all of them and still live. And, I like Echidna as, like, the final boss, but I don't love her. She's nice, but that's all she is nice. But, yeah. It's a very strong D, but it, like, honestly, F tier is not F tier. F tier is Circus Tower. F tier is reserved solely for Circus Tower. Nothing will be bad as Circus Tower. F tier is the Circus Tower tier. F tier is for the clowns. F tier is for the clown. F tier is for Amon. F tier is for Ahmad and his circus. It's his circus, and I don't want any part of it. But, yeah. Void Arc sits at a D, because it just can't be bad as Circus Tower. The glam... I don't remember the glams from this raid, actually. I don't remember them. Let me actually check them out, because I don't remember what drops from Void Arc. Because it could be that it's just so bland I don't remember it. Which is entirely possible. Let me just look at gear sets in general. Can I raid? Because I honestly do not remember what drops. Where is it? There we go. Apply filters. Because, like, I remember what drops from, oh, damn it, Twitch, be nice. I remember what drops from the second raid, and I know what drops from the third raid, because I know there's a lot of recolors from both. But what drops from Void Arc is escaping me. What drops from Void Arc is 100% leaving my body. Okay, that's not it. That's not it. Is that what drops? No, those are the Yafame. Yeah, those are the Yafame. So the next page should be it. Oh, those are what drops. Okay. Okay, yeah. Actually, the glam may push Void Arc up to a C, actually. Is the glam that powerful? Is the glam that powerful to push this up to C? No. No, the bosses are just too much slap fights. The bosses are just too much of a slap fight. And not to mention, I don't really remember the music that well. I don't really remember the music that well for Void Arc, though I'm remembering I think it's just like the general, like, very Void Senti music. Because the entire Raid Series 4 Heaven's Void is definitely a lore drop for the Maki, while also intertwining in a story about sky pirates, which is very interesting, always. But let's go on to Weeping City. Oh, where do I put you? Where do I put the Wiping City? Where do I put the Wiping City? The glam is good, I'll admit that. There's like a Final Fantasy IX reference in the middle of it. Oh, but the final boss kind of just raise it down. I really didn't want there to be like in-between tiers because I just want to settle on one. And I'm finding that it's very hard to settle on Weeping City because it is like, for a level 60 alliance raid, it feels good. And there are mechanics you have to respect. Like, you can die, you can wipe, you can still wipe today if you don't respect the mechanics. And the arena design is so good. You know what, it's an A. It's an A tier. It's an A tier. The main thing keeping Weeping City from S tier is mostly the gear not being dieable. I'm not enjoying all the gear. Though I don't enjoy all the gear from any of these, to be frank. Like what will weigh a lot of anything from before Shadowbringers is the undieable gear, because none of the gear from Alliance raids before Shadowbringers are dieable. So that's what's gonna keep it down. But I also feel like, I don't know why, I just don't like Calofisteri. I don't like Calofisteri as the final boss of Weeping City. Sorry for those of you who want to come in here without spoilers for the bosses of of the Alliance raids. Sorry for those of you who do not want spoilers. But hold on, let me Also, thank you for following me, Dirty. I did not notice. I don't know why it didn't pop up for some reason. Oh, it must because I have my desktop audio muted, but thank you, Dirty, for following. I just saw that. I need to remember to turn on my desktop audio as soon as I switch things, but thank you. I just realized. But, as I was talking, oh, I have to move that. The main thing keeping from... Honestly, I'm very tempted to move this up into S. Because I'm kind of feeling like there's not really a fight that I'm disappointed with besides Callow. And even Callow, you have to, like, totally respect. I'm fighting with myself here. I think the main thing is that it's item level sync. It's the fact that it's still not 100% tough. Though, honestly, you can't really limp through Weeping City. You can't limp through Weeping City on the strength of, like, just, like, 3 tanks, 1 DPS. The healer who struggles to raise everyone else. Like, you can't limp through Weeping City. And, like, I enjoy all the arena designs, so... I'm being spicy with myself here. I'm putting Weeping City in S. I'm putting Weeping City in S tier. So, hydrate? Okay. Y'all taking care of me tonight. I'm so glad. Yeah, I actually need to go get some more water. Excuse me for one moment. Actually, no. I'll be fine. We have an ad break coming up, so I'll hydrate after the. I mean, like, I had like a sip left. I had a sip left, and we have a ad break coming up in like about 5-6 minutes. But again, thank you, Dirty, for following me. I don't know why I didn't hear the alarm go off. The alarm didn't go off. Do I have my alarms even on this one? Yeah, I have my sound alerts. Sound alerts are being mean to me, apparently. I'll just put this up here. But, let's see here. On to a take that's kind of surprised me, even. Dunscape, the one The one that I have ran countless times to where the mechanics are in my bones. The mechanics are in my bones. And like, you know what? I thought I was going to put this. I thought I was going to put this in S tier, but I think because actually there are more fights in this that are more smacky, more entirely thoughtless. I mean, you still have to respect them, but there's more fights in Dunscape that are entirely thoughtless. Like, you can rely on just one person, and it's not all of them though. And like, I do not like the glams as much as I do Weeping City. Huh. I'm evaluating my feelings right now. Because I'll be fair, take so spicy my computer screen starts spazzing out. I'll be real, none of these takes are super spicy. I'm pretty sure, like, you'll find, like, other people who agree with me. Like, when I was thinking about making this tier list, I was like, I know where everything's gonna go. No, I was lying to myself, apparently. Oh, man. So, like, when I was thinking about making this tier list, I thought that Dunscape was gonna go in A, but now that I'm thinking about it, would I put it all the way in C? I don't think it's that weak. You know what? Dunscape is a B. Dunscape is a B. Let me make sure, and I'll explain why. I'll explain why Dunescape is a B. And they can't have that. It's because I dare to have more than one tab open at a time. Oh no. Oh wait, hold on. you know, the computer just can't handle more than one tab at a time. Well, okay, so, I'm gonna be 100% honest. As someone who has run Dunscape to the point where they basically... There's the ad break. Okay. Ads. Please go get snacks and drinks. Yep, there's the ads. Now I can go get myself a snack or a drink. Be right back, VOD crew. Be right back, VOD crew. For anyone who is still here, who can hear me, we're gonna go to the BRB screen, and we're just gonna have a nice chill time while we wait for ads to end. Dang it. We'll just stay on the screen for the moment. And we are back from... Well, I'm back from my break. I'm not sure about the rest of everyone else. Just chilling, listening to the lo-fi. And we have ad break ending in 15 seconds. Oh, we're back? It still says 13 seconds on my thing, so we're gonna give it like a 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're back, according to my ad break thing. According to my ad break thing. Man, I hate that I kind of had to have a commercial break. I'm looking into replacing those with something. Hopefully we can do something about that. But the Dunscape, and its surprising rating to myself at B of all things. But I'm not 100% in love with the glam. I'll admit that. Like I love the minion. I love that all the minions of the raids are like miniature versions of the bosses, and the minions even have their own continuing story lore. There's like this like mini story, this mini arc lore that's going on in the background of like the big picture of like the story about a Gridanian goldsmith who is like totally in love with Void Scent. And so he has made a and so he ends up in like they ended his story with the latest patch because it was very void focused. It's very focused on the 13th where the void is. And like his story ended there, I think. But all the minions of these raids are connected to that story. But the glam is not that great. It's not that great of a drop. Like it's very pointy. I like, but like it's one of those things where the caster thing is a robe and the healer thing is a robe, and it's not very exciting, especially with all the choices we have now. And I'm realizing that like I said, like, you still have to respect all the fights, but Ferdiad Hollow, for the most part, outside of like Debilitator and his I forgot what it's called. I want to say it's Black Void or Void Heart or something. But besides those two, he is pretty that's quite a name. Yeah, Ferdiad Hollow. Oh, Debilitator? Yeah. Yeah. The main thing about Debilitator is that it is one of those mags that you have to actually interact with. It's not like something you have to shield through or anything. So what you have to do is he will send out like all these puddles, and depending on what your resistance is lowered on, you have to make all the puddles opposite of that. So if your water resistance is lower, you have to make all the puddles fire. But if you don't, and if your fire resistance is lower, you have to make all the puddles water, basically. And if probably more than two are not the opposite, you will probably near wipe the raid. You will probably near wipe the raid. But besides that, Ferdiat is mostly a slapfest. It is mostly a slapfest. And then there's the proto proto-weapon, the proto-ultimate weapon, which... It's interesting, but it's mostly just a giant, flashy show. It literally took the place of another fight, and here's the thing. I would rather have fights be on theme with the rest of the raid than just have something shoved into the raid because it needs to fit. And here's the thing, the proto-ultimate weapon was shoved into Dunscape because it was a FanFest exclusive. It was a part of the FanFest before Heavensward. Well, not before Heavensward, before Stormblood, I assume. But because FanFest was happening before Stormblood, but during the Heavensward post-patches, they probably needed somewhere to put the fight, because they couldn't make it make sense anywhere else on its own, I guess. So they just shoved this proto-ultimate weapon into Dunscape, and it's a mini-boss that acts like a full boss. And I just don't think it fits, and that's also another reason why Dunscape is at a B. Because, like, I just don't like the proto-ultimate weapon in the middle of the fight. I would rather have rated I would have rather seen it in its own trial. I would have rather wanted that. And the rest, literally everything else is good. But the Glam and Proto-Ultimate and Fortiad Hollow really weigh this one down to B, I think. And like, it could go to A. It could go to A. No, the music, Diablos. Here's the thing, the story of the Heavensward Alliance raids is pretty good. It actually starts in A Realm Reborn. But, yeah, I'm going to put it on B. I feel like B is safe. Cause like, I feel like, damn it, I'm fighting with myself. Cause I feel like, Skatha and Diablos Hollow both really carry. The music isn't anything to write home about, though. To be fair, I'm not really paying much attention to the music sometimes, though. You know what? Because you still have to respect most of the mechanics. I'm gonna put a mostly for Skatha, Diablos Hollow, and Deathgaze Hollow, because Deathgaze Hollow is a real bitch. Deathgaze is a real bitch. And Deathgaze is also kind of a shout out to, I think, a boss in FF3. I'm not sure if it's in the original, but in the remake, there's a very similar boss. And like, you will see people die to Deathgaze Hollow no matter which X pack you're in. Like, that man is just sweeping off people. Although, you know what, I feel safe putting it at B. I feel safe putting it on B. I feel like I'm not going to have that many in B. I feel like S and A are going to be overpopulated. S and A might be overpopulated. Like, S and A are going to be overpopulated because I know what I'm going to put there already. Now we get into some more. We're getting into the heavier mech ones. We're getting into the heavier mech ones. Okay, so... Rabinaster. Or as it's called in some circles, Rabinasty. Now, the mechs here cannot be disrespected. I mean, they can be. But I like the music because it mostly steals from Tactics and 12. It mostly steals from Tactics and 12, and I may not like 12 all that much. I'm going to get hit by a friend who loves 12. I'm just going to get absolutely stabbed to death later when I log in. But if there's anything I can give 12 and Tactics, I like Tactics. I like the handheld Tactics. I really haven't played through War of the Lions that much. But if there's anything I can give 12 and Tactics at least, it's the music. The music of 12 and Tactics is the best. But Rabinaster, we start the first fight is Mateus, and wow. Just the amount of anxiety that fight gives me, because like there's so many mechanics. And you will see people not paying attention to any of them. So, Rabinaster gets to see purely on music and mechanics alone. But, I'll fully admit I'm not in love with the final two fights. Because, like, it is really difficult to die on them. You can wipe on Hashmal or Mateus. You can wipe on those fights. I don't think I've seen people wipe on Lucifuge with Fakal and, oh, I forgot the other one's name, King something? Well, it's not Lucifuge Wofokal. I think it's just Wofokal. I haven't seen anyone die to those two, so... Just because, like, those two are just final boss smackfests, just get out your weapon, just swing it out, just, like, unloosen thyself. Like, the funny thing is that the first two fights are harder than the last two. You will see wipes on Hashmal to this day. You will probably see near wipes to Mateus. I don't think I've seen a party that was near wipe on either of the last two fights. However, the arena design is amazing. The arenas, the area design, the stage design, all very lovely, all very Rabinaster. However, because of the last two fights alone, and the fact that I'm not thoroughly in love with any of the glam from the Evil East Alliance raids, it's going to sit at a B. Rabinaster is going to sit on a B. Mostly because I'm not a nice person. But mostly because those last two fights are... They have interesting mechs. It's just that you can probably limp through them if you have a healer. You're not going to limp through Hashmal or Mateus with just a healer. Like, if everyone died on each alliance, except for a healer, you can maybe get through it. If everyone died, except for healers on Hashmal, you're not gonna make it. It's because they're... Well, depending on where you die, you might make it. But, both Mateus and Hashmal just have more dangerous mechs than the last two. And that shouldn't be happening. Your last two bosses should be the most difficult. And it's just that... And it has the opposite problem most Alliance raids do, is when your third boss is the most dangerous, the hardest one. No, Rabbinaster has the near opposite problem. It's where, your first two bosses are more dangerous than your other two bosses. And also, I'm not going to really make a remark on the mooks. The mooks aren't really noteworthy, in my opinion, for Rabbinaster. I don't remember if it... Well, Rabbinaster has the red chocobo. However, I don't think the red chocobo in Rabbinaster is gonna carry up to a... No. Even though you can die to the red chocobo, which is really funny, because the red chocobo summons Comet, and if you are within a certain range, I think it just one-hit KOs you. That, as much as I love the danger of the red chocobo, it's not enough. It's not enough to carry Rabbinaster past B. Okay, now for the Clockwork City of Gauche, or is it Gauche? I know it's one of the most hated raids of Final Fantasy XIV. You wanna know why? Math Robot. Math Robot. Do you know your prime numbers? Now, I actually like Clockwork Tower. Because even though it's a tower, it does not have the same problem as Circus Tower. I don't like the Mook fights. I think the Mook fights are kind of awful. Not to mention, like, with how, poorly... There's a whole song about prime numbers on Nez Declassified. Maybe I should show it to some Final Fantasy XIV players, cause it's necessary. Everyone forgets, technically, 1 is a prime number, but it's also not. And that gets a lot of Final Fantasy XIV players. But I actually enjoy, Clockwork Tower. I enjoy seeing it. Oh, this one might be another toughie. It's been a long time since I watched Ned's Declassified. Didn't they try to reboot it recently? But, for arena design and, for mechs, arena design, and bosses, it's going to sit between A and B. Because the bosses still need to be respected, but... Well... Man, Belias. Belias is kind of a smack fight, because... he doesn't really have a lot of things that will just outright wipe a party. He does not. Poor Belias. This is how how much one fight can weigh down an entire alliance raid. Hmm. I think I'm gonna surprise myself again and put this in B. Mostly because Belias, once again, kind of a smack fight. Not to mention, you're never really going to get to a point where you have to limp through it, I think. Like, Belias has very predictable mechanics. Like you get hit once and you're like, oh, that's what I need to do. You get hit once and you're like, oh, that's what I need to do. And, I'm not entirely in love with the Alliance glams. So I'm trying not to take that too much into account here. They're just more or less not my taste. But, sorry, I have to, ear is itchy. But, I think the main thing that weighs down the raid is that, it's mostly Belias, but also the Mook fights aren't that interesting. There's, like, the Clockwork guys, but there's also this entire thing with some... The Mooks before Belias are not that interesting in comparison to, well, really anything. Like, I feel like Mook fights are very, like, I feel like if I had to point out, like, Mooks that I really, really enjoy, like, again, it had to be Void Arc. Mostly just the part with the Marlboros and the, mini-boss fights with all the coffins dropping, and you're fighting the gargoyles, and they're firing lasers across the entire arena. That is why Void Arc is in D. And it could be in C. It could be in C. But the mooks and mini bosses Clockwork Tower goes is just not interesting. Honestly, I'm very tempted to still put it in A, just mostly because of the final boss fight with Tiamat. I'm not sure if he's called Tiamat. And how it replicates the fact that it was a secret boss fight in Final Fantasy XII, and how difficult it was to kill him in the original game, because in the original Final Fantasy XII game, he had 12 million HP and was a super boss. And they decided, hey, let's make him the boss of the Alliance Raid, the final boss of the second Alliance Raid of Stormblood. I don't know who was that insane, but okay. But yeah. Yeah, I think B is safe for it, because the arena design isn't that interesting, to be fair. Two of them are squares within the tower itself, and again, it's a tower. I'm like giving it I'm letting the music and bosses that are not Belias K get to B. It could be an A, but Mooks, Belias, and arena design are holding it back. Because Ravenaster has good area design, because like there's this entire part where you are sliding through the Gim Scythe waterways as like a cooldown walk, and you get to see all of it, and there's like lore. You just get to see all the pretty waterways. It's a sewer system, but it's a fantasy sewer system. Hold up. So I heard someone knocking. It was the ghost, apparently. It's always the ghosts. But, the area design of Ravenaster is just wholly interesting. But, Clockwork Tower just has, like, 2 arenas that are basically squares. Which is fine, considering that Belias needs a square, but, like, it's not that interesting. And okay, I lie, it kinda does suffer from the same problem as Circus Tower, just not as bad. But, yeah, it just suffers from tower disease. It suffers from tower disease. Which I'm realizing affects all towers in Final Fantasy XIV, because there's another tower in this Alliance raid set, which I'm going to talk about, and it also has tower disease. Remember, chat, don't let your towers be infected with the architectural disease known as tower disease, where too many rooms look similar. Remember, call an interior designer to fix this problem. Please call your interior designer so that your towers do not have tower disease. I'm always available. So, yeah. Ooh, we got ourselves some Eye of the Soul here. Oh my god. Actually, I'm surprising myself with how many of these are going into certain places. Okay, Orbon's Monastery. I'm... Okay, I'm going to admit this. Orbon's Monastery is one of the prettiest places. Every arena... No, hold on. There's a circular arena, which I'm not a fan of. So... But every arena is amazing, except for the circular one. The circular one where you fight the Angel Paladin is an issue. But, all the boss fights have to be... No. No way. Wow, there's always that one fight that's just a slap fest, huh? Like, I'm thinking about, Agrius. The lesbian paladin nun, I think. I think she's a lesbian. I will have people who know tactics, fix me on that later. I will have people who actually know Final Fantasy Tactics to fix me on the lesbian paladin nun. But, Agrius, there's always one that keeps down the whole raid from being S tier, isn't there? And for this one, I think it is Agrius. But the music is amazing. The music is amazing. Glams, so-so. If you're a caster or healer for any of these raids, you're kind of out of it. You're kind of losing. Again, if you're not like an Ivalice or Tactics fan, you're kind of losing in general in these raids. Because none of the glams are dieable, so they're not going to take a good place near a clam dresser. But man, Orbon is at least an A, even with Agrius. But the last final boss of this raid, the final boss of like the entire series of the Ivalice raids, with the final boss, that could easily be upgraded to an S. Like, this is hovering near an S. But I'm not totally in love with the glam enough. You know what? I'll put it in S. I'll put it in S. Because, like, all raids come with their issues, so... There's always an issue in every single one, so... No, wait. No, wait, it'll go back down to A, because I don't like the glams enough. I'll be frank. The arena design... and the final boss... Not to mention the third boss, like this is one of the few raids where the final boss is harder than all the other bosses. Oh, a stretch? But Orban is one of the few raids where the final boss is actually more difficult than the third boss. Though that may be because of nerfs. Because Thunder God Sid is the third boss. So, no, I'll say Thunderbod, the Thunderous Body. I wish I had a Thunderbod. I would like a Thunderbod either on top of me, under me, or just have it be my body. Body. But the third boss and the final boss are about equal, but there is an amazing transformation sequence for the final boss, and I just enjoy that. I enjoy final bosses with the transformation sequences. Dunscape has a final boss with the transformation sequence, though that's not enough to carry it past B, in my opinion. Mostly because we've always seen the final boss in, like, other places. But, Orban is at least an A. It could be an S, but I do not like the fashion enough. I do not like the fashion enough to carry Thunderbod. I don't think the fashion is enough to carry it to S. The fashion is what's keeping it, and Agreus is keeping it. And also, I'm trying to remember the mooks. The introductory mooks don't feel that great, in my opinion. The introduction mooks don't feel that great, in my opinion. But Orban sits perfectly at an A, and it's near S. Like, it's not that far from an S. Like, the music is still from 12 and Tactics, and just the Evilise Alliance raids in general. I think there might even be some music from Vagrant Stories dotted within the, dotted throughout the raid storyline. I'm not sure. But, for those of you who don't know, there's, like, an entire Evilise storyline outside of FF12. It's just that FF12 was a mainline game, so everyone knows about it. And quite frankly, the entire idea of the Evilise storyline enchants me. And I need to, like, play through it more. But, Orban sits at an A, and I think that is more than fair. Okay, now we're getting into the spicy takes again. We're getting into the spicy takes again, because we're at the near raids. We're at the near raids, and those are always spicy. But, we're gonna go... Since we're going through this in order, the next one is the Copied Factory. Now... Everything about nearly getting some of my pitchforks and torches ready. Oh no, not the villagers! I can't handle the villagers. Not all at once. One at a time, maybe 3 at a time, maybe. But not the pitchforks and torches. Do you have at least candle wax? I mean, if you have torches, might as well get the candle wax. But, near raids. All of these are going to be at least A. All of these are going to be at least A. None of them are going to be under B. None of these are going to be under B. So, Copied Factory, the very first pitchforks and Yankee can. Ooh, I'm going to smell nice. Copied Factory is the very first Nier raid. Again, all these raids are going to be hard carried by the fact that I'm a Nier fanboy. But, the music is good. Like, the music and the glams of every single raid are amazing. And, like, the Nier raids changed the fashion of Final Fantasy XIV forever. There has been a permanent impact on the Final Fantasy XIV glam scene by the Nier raids, and we cannot return to before that time. So just due to that alone, all these will be sitting at A. But, Copied Factory is going to... You know what? I'm going to go ahead and be spicy and put it in S. I'm going to be spicy and put it in S. Because there's not a boss I have issue with. You will go through each and every single boss of... You know what? No, you know what? I'll be fair. I'll be fair and put that down to A. I'll be fair and put that down to A. Because I have been mentioning bosses that are just smack away until they die. And now I think about Copy Factory doesn't really have any, like, instant die mechanics. It does not. I mean, there is one. The final two bosses are very, difficult. I'll give them that. You know what? I'll put it back on S. I'll put it back on S because I'm thinking about it now. And it's entirely possible to wipe, but it's mostly on the last two bosses. The first two bosses really don't have much you can wipe on, but they're still very interesting to play, so I'm gonna put that on S. But the glams for Copy Factory are interesting. And the music, again, is one for one from Nier, I am pretty sure. So, like, you get some Nier replicant tracks, I think, and you get some Nier Automata tracks, and then you get some remix tracks. And I have every single one. I have all the Nier music. I have all of it. I have all of it, and I cannot go back. But all the glams are interesting because they're replicating the androids from Nier. They're copying hypothetical poly concept looks from other models that we never see in game. And probably some that we do see in Nier Automata. But music, amazing. Bosses, amazing. Mechanics, still have to respect. Arena design, amazing. Area design, cooldown walks, amazing. Let's see here. Okay, I'll admit the mooks, not that great. But I'm not sure if they're bad enough to pull it down from S. I don't think they're bad enough to pull it down from S, because the mood fights are still interesting, and like, you still have to I don't want to say respect them, because again, they're just smack fights. Smacky, smack, 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 schmuck, smack. But, yeah, no, Copy Factory's S tier. Copy Factory's an S tier alliance rate. And, more spicy, I'm about to get, super spicy. Hold on. Let me, okay, hold up, let me, try. Let me just try something here for a few seconds. Sorry, I was just raising up one of my filters to, like, filter out more noise. But, yeah, I feel like getting the Final Fantasy XIV tweet rate. Did you hear what Vesper said? Listen. Listen. What I said cannot compare to the drama that is already naturally going through the Final Fantasy XIV community. my inclinations of what is my favorite alliance rate cannot be what is already going through the Final Fantasy XIV community. Because you want to know what's happening in the Final Fantasy XIV community? Mods you have to pay for. Let's see here. People being carried through ultimates. Mods being used in ultimates. I can go on. There is a stupid drama every single week. I am a blip on the radar. I am nothing but a blip. And a hole. But more on that later. Oh, I just went red. I went holy red there. Okay. Okay, Satan. Okay, Satan. But, oh my god, I forgot what... Puppet's Bunker. Puppet's Bunker. Puppet's Bunker is S tier. Puppet's Bunker is S tier. No argument there. They made a... Okay, first off, the trash. There's 2 fights with the trash, and both of them are interesting. One of them, you're fighting Gundams on top of a floor that explodes after you kill them all, like Gundams and androids. And the second fight is not even really a fight, but there are robots firing lasers down the hall, and you have to traverse the hall in order to get to the robots and kill them. And there's just lasers and energy balls going off every which way. And honestly, those are the 2 most interesting Mook fights ever. Like, just, like, the most interesting trash fights. And the arena design. One of them is basically a donut. Actually, no. 2 of them are donuts. 2 of them are donut designs. Good evening, Dits. Welcome in. Welcome in. You caught me in the middle of my sorta semi-spicy Final Fantasy XIV takes. How are you? I hope you're doing well. But yeah, we are doing the Alliance Raid tier list, my first ever tier list. I hope it's spicy enough for everyone, though. It's Alliance rated, so I don't think it is. But, Puppet's Bunker, it's S tier. The fights... One of them is a PvP fight. Basically, you can fire lasers at people by accident. Or... accident. And, it's been well. Gone to bike exercise with my family. Came to sushi restaurant. Came back home. You had sushi? Oh, I'm jelly. I'm jelly. I kind of want to go get sushi when I'm out next time now. But, yes, Puppet's Bunker is S tier just solely for... Again, it's near, so I might be a little biased. The next one might surprise people though. But, arena design, A+ on all fronts. Final boss, again, transformation sequence. Mwah. Not only does the final boss have a transformation sequence, it kind of reminds me of Junjo Ito horror, and just body horror in general. Oh wow, I'm still super loud. We're gonna handle that. I think that's good. Yeah, I don't seem to be going into the red. But, just everything about Puppet's Bunker kind of makes it the perfect alliance raid. And you can still wipe to this day. Mostly because there are some cheap mechanics with knockbacks and stuff. But it's still very respectable. It's very respectable. But I'm glad you had a good day. I'm very glad you had a good day. And I hope the bike exercise did you good. I need to start exercising myself. I'm pretty sure it was the weight I gained that broke my new chair. Well, my old chair. I don't have a new chair. I wish I had a new chair. That's good, that's good. I need to make exercise fun, which isn't that hard because I just like listening to music and stuff. Okay. Now, this might surprise people because the tower, again, tower disease, tower design disease, affects the tower at Paradigm's Breach as well. However, tower at Paradigm's Breach is so heavily carried by a boss and mechanic design. Towers, where is this? Far Cry? Yes. Did you hear? This isn't Final Fantasy 14. This is Final Far Cry 14. But I did not mean to put that in a. Tower at Paradigm's Breach suffers from tower design disease. Because, you know, it's a tower. You know what? I'm going to surprise myself. It's going into A. No, you know what? It's fine in A. It's fine in A. I'll be truthful. The main problem is, while the music is good, the boss mechanics are amazing. I love each and every single boss. Each and every single boss is respectable. You go through all the mechs on the nearits because they made the bosses so chunky. The bosses have so much chunk, you are going through all the mechanics at least once. But, again, tower design disease. I don't know, I still want to put it in S, but I'm going to be truthful to myself. There's tower design disease. I'm trying to be unbiased here. So even though the music is doing amazing, the music is amazing, there are two things that mostly hold this back from being a total S rank. It's tower design disease, because, you spend Let's see here. Yeah, she's been three of the major fights in Tower at Paradigm's Reach inside this kind of gray area that is from Nier Automata. And it's fine. I enjoy it, but like I said, I'm trying to be unbiased. So it's just gray squares or gray circles. So again, arena design may not be that interesting for people who are not into Nier. And like I said, tower design disease. Don't let your towers suffer from tower design disease, people. Cure tower design disease today. Call an interior decorator if you have a tower. Split up the floors. Have a nice floor plan. Have a weird floor plan. It's your damn tower. But, tower design disease, I'm not in love with the first Mook fight, which is just, 3 of the Gundams, which is the 3 of the Gundams followed by a bunch of 2Ps, which is supposed to mimic the part of Nier Automata where you fight a bunch of 2Bs, but I feel like it's kind of lost. But it's not, they're not like, I'll say the fights are interesting, but the main star Mook fight is the mini-boss against, the philosophers, which feels like nearly like an actual boss. It almost feels like an actual boss. So like the philosophers are the better of the Mook fights in the Tower at Paradigm's Reach, but besides arena design and cooldown walk design, which again suffers from tower design disease, there is the glams, which for tank and mate aiming are the same from the previous 2 raids, because they're all for the first 2 raids you got stuff that looked like the androids, and for the last tier, again, tanks and aiming got android looks, which since we got 2 previous raids of that, it's not necessary. I do like the hats from the tank and aiming sets, don't get me wrong, they're still amazing. But I think there was other characters they could have gotten it from. And then the scouting, the aiming, and the scouting, aiming, and striking. Scouting, aiming, and striking sets all share the same model, just different colors, and I hate it when that happens. There was more than enough characters they could have gotten things from. There was more than enough characters. They were being lazy for the last 2 Glamon Paradigm's Breach. But, besides that, Tower at Paradigm's Reach could be an S, but I'm trying to be unbiased and, actually, be truthful to myself and others. But, Tower suffers from tower design disease. Tower design disease is a purge. Tower design disease is a purge. It's an affliction, and we must purge it. We must purge tower design disease. Okay. Now for the second set of spicy opinions. Oh god. Remember how I was talking about respectability in mechs? And how I am rating these by respectability? Yeah. Well, it hasn't really been a problem beyond Void Arc. It's gonna start being a problem again now. So, the main problem with the Endwalker raids, as opposed to the Nier raids and the Evilise raids, is that the bosses aren't chunky enough. The bosses ain't got no back. Well, not any HP back, a lot of them do have back. There is proof that the babies got back. But, the main problem with the Alliance raids of Endwalker is that the bosses have been going down too quickly. The bosses have been eating it. The bosses have been eating it. Like, so easily. I don't know what went wrong with design with these past Alliance raid tiers. So, I'm going to have spicy takes, but only because they're spicy because they're true. This is the spice of truth. This is the saffron, the vanilla, the basil, the garlic of truth. We are on the spice road. And baby, I'm taking us down to Spice Valley. We are hitting we are hitting really high spice levels in the next few minutes. Speaking of which, do I have ads up yet? I need more water. I need more water ads, please. I need more water ads, please. I literally said ads, please, and they came up. Okay. Ad break. Get consumable. I will walk, get myself a drink, and go and get myself ready for back from when we get back from ad. Back from getting myself water. Well, hello VOD people, hope you're doing well. Hope you guys are enjoying what I have done today. And we are about done. We're going to be done as soon as, okay. 2 Tamagotchis. Oh my god. First off, thank you both for the Tamagotchis. Thank you both for taking care of me. We will, I already took care of my stretching when I got up and walked to go get some water. And so I first did Ditz's Tamagotchi, and now I'm doing it of his Tama. As I was saying, these tastes are going to be spicy, but only because these alliance raids are more recent. Which is very sad. I hate to say this, but because of how they are built, they are poorly. So a lot of the raids before Endwalker they're based on the HP that the bosses have. They're not based upon let me switch to my thinky face. Let me switch to a thinking face. Let me look intelligent. So a lot of mechanics before Endwalker had more HP bases and not and they weren't using time. However, once we hit Endwalker, a lot of certain fights had more time-based mechanics, so they would only activate they would only activate when you hit a certain part of the fight, which became a problem with Endwalker because of how they squished the stats. With how the stats worked, combined with the item level. Just for some reason, Endwalker took the brunt of it. Because there's an entire story fight, which until this patch, was being completed before the first phase even ended. Like, there's supposed to be, like, 3 phases to that fight, and people were beating it before the second phase. Which is sad, because it is the in-game. It's the fight that is supposed to cap the entire story. And unfortunately, it is hitting the alliance rates pretty tough as well. Which means it's not going to get better with time. Which is very sad. But I'm wondering why it's only happening to the Endwalker raids and not the others. Because it's only happening with Endwalker. The near raids are too chunky, and they were chunky on release. And, as I know, because I managed to play most of them while they were still relevant. Like, I managed to catch the tail end of Shadowbringers before Endwalker. So I managed to get most of these done before Endwalker started. But all of the Endwalker raids are suffering from a similar problem as the Crystal Tower raids, which is unfortunate. They're going to be big item level sufferers for some reason. And I do not see the problem getting better. Especially if they plan on putting in a new starting point after Endwalker. which Yoshi has talked about doing. He wants to put in a new starting point for players so that maybe they just want to go to uh, the newest content, or at least not have to start all the way back at A Realm Reborn. So, unfortunately, I think the Aglare raids are going to be the new Crystal Towers in some way, which is both sad and possibly ironic if they are going to be the new raids that are just going to be skipped over. They're just going to be punchbag fests. Welcome, Zakalaki. Welcome, welcome. Hi, welcome in. I hope you're having a good day. Welcome, welcome in. I like your name, Zacky Lucky. I'm just going to call you Zacky or Zach. Is that alright? I can also call you Lucky. But yes, I would... Alright. You're quite welcome. I hope you're having a good day. I know I just said that. I'm so dumb. But thank you for joining the coven. Thank you for joining the bats. Welcome, welcome. We were just talking about how Aglaya is going... How the new Endwalker raids are going to become the new Crystal Tower raids. Because I unfortunately feel like that's where we're headed with them. If you played a Final Fantasy XIV. Yeah, I feel like they're going to be the new Crystal Tower raids, unfortunately, because they're already suffering from that. Which is kind of like why I'm going to not be nice, I'm going to be spicy, I'm going to be mean, I'm going to be truthful, and say that I don't think any of these are going to go into S tier. I don't think any of these are going to go into S tier. So, Aglaya. We're going to start with Aglaya first. So, I'm going to be 100% honest. I think... Nah, Aglaya is not my favorite, but it's near my favorite solely for mechanics and arena design. The arena design of Aglaya is probably the most interesting of all the raids. It is probably the most interesting of all the raids because with Biragot, he transforms the arena and he moves it. You can entirely die because of knockback and him pushing around the arena. And there's an entire fight where you are fighting on the giant statue of Walger's hand. And there's pushback mechanics there, but you are just running all over this hand doing mechanics. And there's also a part where you have to actually stand in meteors. This is the first time you ever stand in meteors, I believe. Unless there's like an ultimate mechanic where that happens, but this is the first time you stand in meteor mechanics. Or well, not meteor, mines. This is the first time you stand in mine mechanics. Because if you don't stand in mine, you die, so the oh. Don't know what that was. That 6-7 was about. That's not a secret code. Don't clip that. But Aglaya has very interesting mechanics for the first two bosses. It's kind of like Rabanaster in that I feel like the first two bosses can be more deadly than the second two. Like the first set. I'm not entirely in love with the mooks. But if there's any of the myths of the realm, that's the name of the Endwalker ones that would be an S, it is likely Aglaya, but I'm going to say it's an A. Mostly because, again, like I said, the item level sync is just beating the ass out of all these raids. item level sync is beating the ass out of all these raids because there is an amazing cinematic mechanic with the final boss of Aglaya, and you literally cannot reach it on certain data centers because the player base is too skilled. And because the mechanic is dependent on how much time is spent on the fight, not how much HP the boss is at. So you do not skip any mechanics to go to this mechanic. This mechanic will only happen if the boss is still alive at that point in the fight. And the mechanic is that you have to defeat these mooks on a scale. And there will be like an entire cinematic where he weighs both sides of the scales. And he will then decide if it's a complete wipe or if if the entire alliance did the right thing. That said, despite how cinematic it was, it's very easy to troll during that fight, because you can just switch sides on the scale, because players still get to move on the scale. So, you can kill... One person can kill an entire alliance raid. One person can kill an entire alliance raid, because, like, people will think, oh, we're fine, then one person moves slightly. One person moves slightly to stage left, and everyone dies. Except for maybe a tank. I think I've seen, like, tanks live through it. Like, it's entirely possible to live through the mechanic. There are, like, lines for when you live through the mechanic, but, Aglaya is sitting at an A, because A, again, item level is killing it. Item level is killing all three of these, honestly. I don't like the glam of Aglaya. It's very... I don't want to say tacky, because I love tacky. I love Gali. I love Gauche. I love kitschy. But, like, it's not 100% my style. I enjoy it. It's not, like, 100% bad, don't get me wrong. It's just that it's mostly, like, very tacky, gaudy gold. Like, very yellowy gold. Like, the main color is a very yellowy gold, and it's either against white or against black. And, like, while I enjoy that, it's like, the yellowy gold is the main color, and I'm not a big fan of yellowy gold. And like I said, the item level sync is just killing all the myths of the realm. So, but like, all these will probably sit at least at A or at least at B. I don't want to say which one's gonna be at B though. That might get me hurt. The one that's going to be at B is likely what's gonna cause people to kill me. I'm going to have assassinations out for me after this, maybe. Euphrozyne, oh. To be honest, this one's my favorite. Euphrozyne is my favorite of the... Did you hear what Vesper said? Yeah, I said that the game has problems. Which game doesn't? Which game doesn't have problems? But, oh man. Euphrozyne I'm going to put at A as well, I think. I feel like the main thing the Euphrozyne, well, all the myths of the realm suffers from is that there's no big... Like, there's no big set piece in UFO's line. There's no big set piece battle. I love all the battles in UFO's line, don't get me wrong. Like, all of them are amazing. The mooks I can live without. There's nothing about the mooks that I'm enjoying. And honestly, in all the midst of the realm alliance raids, none of them have really good mooks I'd write home about. Like, there's nothing like Tower at Paradigm's Reach. There's nothing like Orban. There's nothing like Puppet's Bunker. There's none like for Mists of the Realm, everything is in the boss fights. Like, honestly, the mooks are there to just be there. They're just there because they're in the other Alliance raids. They're just there because other Alliance raids have mooks. But I think Euphozine is at B. I enjoy the glams. I find the glams of Euphozine more enjoyable than those of Aglaya. But for a lot of people, it may be the reverse. Like, they're both enjoyable glams. The main problem is that I think Euphozine came out around a few months before 5.4, and 5.4 had very similar raid glams, so we kind of been having like very similar glams between Euphozine and Abasios, and honestly, Thalaire continued the blue glams, though they're not as bad as the comparison between Anabasios and Euphozine. But Euphozine feels like it suffers from not having a big out of a set piece. Because in Aglaya we have the boss fight, we have Nalthal and the Scales. We have Nalthal and the Scales. Which, to be fair, you don't see as much anymore. But it felt like a set piece. There was a cutscene. And meanwhile Euphozine has the summoning of Dalmud, which is like an entire thing, but it's not a cutscene. It's not like Puppet's Bunker, where there was a mid-final boss cutscene. It's not like Tower at Paradigm's Breach, where there was, again, a cutscene with the final boss, with a transformation sequence. It's not like... It's more Dunscape, because there was a final transformation sequence in Dunscape. There was a transformation sequence in Orban for the final bosses, but they weren't cutscenes. I felt like the Nier Alliance raids were just on a different level cinematically, and I feel like that should have been continued into Endwalker. And you see that in Aglaya with the Nalthal and the Scales. But there isn't a cutscene for the summoning of Dalamud. And for Thalaire, there isn't really a cutscene for the final boss. There's no cutscene for Eulogia, which I feel is very, very unsatisfying. I like how F is just Circus Tower. That's just appeasing me in a way I didn't imagine it would. But Euphozine is like good on like all levels. I just don't feel like it excels to reach these others here. I feel like it doesn't excel enough. The mechanics are interesting, But honestly, Euphozine kind of pales in comparison a little, in at least arena design to Aglaia. It makes up for it though in other ways by having the better glam. Like, I just love like the frilly robes and the blues and the crystals. I feel like that is more appealing to me. And not to mention, I feel like once we get the 2 dye channels, those pieces are going to look even more amazing. I feel like these pieces were made in mind with the 2 dye channels and are going to look more interesting. But I also just like the designs on the robes more. There's more like character in them than gold. Gold! Gold! Which is what, to me, the Aglaia designs feel like. I like the Aglaia designs, I just don't love them. But I like the Euphozine music, I like the boss designs, I like how Halone is Milena is Ice Millennia. I really want to design like a rot version of Halone, an ice rot version of Halone. But I will say, I will be honest, Euphozine is more respectable. You start to respect more of Euphozine than Aglaia. Like, in terms of getting hit. No. Now I think about, no, it's... You're gonna get harder in, Euphozine if you get hit, but there's not a lot of you fuck this up and you die mechanics. There's not a lot of those in Euphozine. Like, it's mostly Halone. Halone is the main issue and is the main, like, cause of everything in Euphozine. Halone is the biggest, baddest motherfucker in Euphozine. Like, I feel like... Aglaia and Euphozine are about equal, so yeah. Althaleia... Thalea, I'm sorry, but you owe me emotional compensation. You owe me... You know, I'll deal with the mob. I'll deal with the mob. That's a load of baloney. Yeah, I'll deal with the Thalea angry mob. I'll deal with the Thalea angry mob. Oh yeah, 100% honest. Thalea, honestly, very pretty areas. Very pretty arenas. Halone, not Palone. Not Palone. Halone. Halone. Ha, H, ha. It's a load of Halone. Yes, that one's right. But, Thalea... I may be being influenced by the fandom. I may be being influenced by the fandom a little bit here. I will not lie. Because I've seen a little... Like, day 1 when this came out, I saw a little bit of it. But, again, item level sync is probably a part of the reason why, but, while we did wipe on this raid, we wiped more. Like, I did all these raids, week 1 with my friends. So, like, I did Aglaia, and, like, we wiped a bunch on that, all of us being new. And we did, Euphrosyne, and we actually wiped less, but we still wiped. I can count the... Like we wiped probably near double digits for Aglaya. We wiped being counted on a single hand for Euphrosyne, I think. Like, probably to Halone. Like, probably to Halone and Althic and Nemia. I think we only wiped twice on Thalea. We only wiped twice on Thalea. And that was, 2 Limlayan, which, to be real, quite understandable. Oh, well, we all only died twice. But, we died, I think we died to Limlayan, and I think we died to, Eulogia. We died to Eulogia. So... And I think we only died to Eulogia because that was a new mech. Or, well, sorta new. But, I am kind of disappointed in Thalea for what it could have been. Thalea is very much the concept that anyone could have thought of was going to be bigger than the execution. And what I mean is, I feel like the final boss does not utilize enough mechanics. Because it's supposed to be combining all the mechanics of every single previous boss fight you had. Though, it could be it's a storyline fight. And it's one of those, oh, the fight isn't really going to be tough because they don't want it to be tough. It's actually in lore for it to be easy. Though I don't like that. I don't like that. Arena design is beautiful, though. Like, I don't know if you can tell from the super tiny thumbnail, you probably can't. But it has some of the most beautiful areas. However, first boss, kind of a pushover past week 1. Like, you probably only really need to fight him once to memorize his mechanics. Limlayan, or well, you know what, I'm already being spoilery enough. Limlayan, the second boss, is a little bit more tougher because she has way more mechanics coming out at the same time. There are a few bosses like that in the Soul series, like ones that are rigged for lore reasons, or to be subversive of expectations, yeah. But I don't think it should have applied here, to be honest. So, Mook design, not... The design is interesting, I just don't think they add anything, because, like, you only fight some Mooks right before the first boss, and then right before the final boss. And the final boss has more angelic Mooks, which I feel like needs some more explanation, because we rarely encounter angelic monsters. And it's just like, where did these come from? Because we just had, like, an entire expansion pack where we were killing angels. Angels weren't good, we were Bayonetta. So it's like, why are these here, please? It just kind of felt like the Mooks were just there, again, to be there. Music was good. I kind of pales in comparison to both Aglaya and Euphrosyne, which had more vocal tracks. Oh shit, that reminds me, I need to rent the layer this week. I need to go run the Leia after this, I think. Would you guys want me to stream me running the Leia? I think I need to run the Leia. Like, I'm like 90% sure. But, the Leia, like, like, the Leia is definitely one of those ones where I enjoy the middle two the most. Go for it. Like, I wouldn't mind it, because, like I said, I need to run it, and I'm not going to spend too long on the second tier list. But, I feel like the Leia just left me wanting in terms of the final boss. And like I've said with Home, and like I've said with a lot of other things, the ending, well, not the story ending, I enjoyed the story ending of The Mists of the Realm. It actually made me cry. While I enjoyed the story ending of Mists of the Realm, I definitely feel like the final boss could have given me more. I feel like the final boss could have given me more in terms of what could have been there. I mean, I wasn't like expecting savage mechanics, but I think they could have gone more mid-core with it. Because it kind of feels like the boss before the final boss of Thalia was more difficult. And like, the first boss, not that tough really. It's very much a Dorito on someone and follow them if you need to. But you can limp through the first boss. The second boss, you can't limp through as much. The second boss has lore. There's actually a thing you can do that they included lore in the boss fight. Like, if you blow a kiss at her or hug her, she will smack you to near death. She's like, oh, you're gonna do that. Destroys you. Literally, step on me, destroy me, mommy. Destroy me, mommy. but, but and like, I feel like I could put the Leia in A if I wanted to. Another Tamagotchi? Okay. You guys keeping me all nice and stretched out. Thank God, because I'm like a... I don't want to say pretzel, but I'm near it. I'm very near pretzel location. They're about to serve me at Auntie Anne's. Though, for some odd reason, like, have you ever noticed, like, pretzels you buy are super, super soft? Like, the pretzels you buy at the mall are soft. Meanwhile, we all associate being a pretzel with being crunchy and, like, being twisted and crunchy. Ooh. Nice Final Fantasy VII remix. I'm so tempted to play the original on stream. So tempted to play the original on stream because I've never really finished the original. I only got to, I think the farthest I got was, maybe the second disc. I know I got to the, airplane. But, let me, download this. But yeah, I feel like it's fair to put the Leia in B. Mostly because Alphic is a pushover. Final boss left me wanting... Glam is amazing, but I feel like they could have gone with the Latin chorus for the final boss music. I feel like all the vocal mixes for Aglaya and Euphozine spoiled me. and and like there's not a vocal mix for Thalea. It is basically entirely instrumental, which I don't mind. I like myself some instrumental music. But I feel like if you're going to have a final boss as like a gigantic god fusion, you should just be giving me the Latin chorus of death. Give me the Dark Souls music, you know? And again, thank you for the Tamagotchi bits. Thank you. Okay. Please. I'm making sure I'm not being a dog. I'm making sure I'm not doxing myself right now. Okay, so it's not showing my my downloads. Okay. Okay, I'm going to piss off my friends right now. Hold on. I'm going to piss off my friends right now. Hold on. Cause I feel like this is controversial. I feel like I'm going to get eaten. Yeah, I feel like this is full of choices. I feel like this is full of choices. I feel like this is full of choices. Oh, I did not notice I was being muted. Yeah, this is full of choices. I'm going to let my friends rip me to pieces over it. Post that shit. Make enemies. Okay, hold on. Is there any place else I can post it? Hold on. Okay, is there spoilers? I'm not posting it in the subreddit. I'm just posting this for friends. I'm posting this for my friends to roast me. Of course I'm muted. Of course I'm muted, cause scuff. The scuff persists, but so do I. Okay. Now we're just solely going to do story. However, that's going to be a little more difficult because I do not remember the story. It's been a bit for some of these. For some of these, it's been like 2 years. I did not say any hot takes. I was just mostly talking about, setting this up. Okay, hold on. Let me, put these in order. I said nothing spicy. We are no spicy during the mute. But I think I'm going to the story. We're doing these by story. So and I may just grab them by what I remember and by whatever I want to be mean with. Which means one of them has a target on their back. Return to Evilise. We're going to get to you in a minute. Hold on, let me see if... Yes, I'm already causing, I'm causing controversy. I'm already causing repercussions. I love it. I'm already causing repercussions. I love it. Someone said the lighthouse is S. That's a lie. That's a lie. It suffers from tower design disease. It suffers from tower design disease. Okay. Now these will be just for story. And I know I'm gonna put one of them, and it's going to hurt one of my friends. We might have to end this friendship. Despite... We will start at the very beginning, like we do. Despite how bad the actual alliance rates play, the actual story of Crystal Tower is very high ranking for me. So it's nearing these three. Here's the thing, I have a very bad memory. And like I said, it's been a few years, like I've been playing this game for 4 years now, I think. So, and Crystal Tower was way back. Crystal Tower was way back. But I think I'm going to put it... I think I'm going to put it in S tier, because I think I remember crying. Because, because here's the thing, it worked in a character, it worked in Graha. This was the first time you see Graha Tia. This is the first time you see Graha Tia. So not only did it introduce a new character who eventually became, like, one of the main characters, it's the first time a side character... Well, no, it's the second time a side character No, wait, hold on. Yes, it was the first time a side character became important, like main character content. And, like a member of the Scions, not like something you constantly see, because, not to mention, this is also the, repentance arc of Nero. This is the, this kind of started Nero on being a good character, like, a good person, but he's only a good person out of spite. He's not a good person because he wants to be. He's a good person because he just wants to be better than Sid. So introduce that. It kind of it's the start of many things, but also had a very good ending that I was like, oh man, oh damn, I'm attached to this cat boy now. I'm attached to this cat boy now. And I may never see him again. Which was kind of a lie in the first place, because I think I had seen stuff about Gratia being who he was. But, I think Crystal Tower is sitting pretty high. For what it was, for being mostly for retracking a lot of Final Fantasy III stuff. But it's a nice, nice foundation for future things. Okay. I'll play it safe and we'll put it in A, because I don't... Anything that I know is good, but I can't remember that well because I'm old. I'm 29. Wink. I'm 29 with a wink. One wink. I'm 29 with a wink. So, some of the memory be gone. Like I said, it's been I don't remember when I started playing. Was it in 2020? I think I started playing at the end of 2020. Or, the end of 2019. I've been playing for a while. But yeah, it's been a while since I've done Crystal Tower. I might, go and redo all these stories again because I want to. So, I'm going to go ahead and put, oh wow, that looks like jank. That looks like jank. You know what? No. I remember enough. I like the characters enough to put that in S. I remember enough to put that in S, I think. I think I remember enough to put that in S. I think, just the characters themselves are enjoyable. You were playing it before I started on my Souls-like track, I think? Yeah. But I think I remember enough to put the Shadows of Mach series on S. Because the Shadows of Mach series has a lot of things going on. It has lore. It has sky pirates. It has, don't worry, I just drank something, so now I stretch. It has a woman. It has woman. It has women. It has woman. It has a woman who is stylish, but also mean and sassy and queen and cunty behavior. So I obviously worship her, but it has a set of amazing, sassy, smart-alecky characters who love each other. So there's very much a ragtag group of people going on. And like I said, Sky Pirates, and Sky Pirates are kind of like my fantasy. I really enjoy the idea of Sky Pirates. I also enjoy the idea of regular pirates. Okay. But, the lore, how it hits the lore on not only, it hits a lot of lore, actually, there is the Shadow, there is the Maki, which are, the previous Black Mages, and it hits, not only hits the Mach, but also actually hits on the people of Nim a little. Because you see the people of Nim, you see the Nim in Ozma and in the second raid, the Weeping City of Mach. Because Ozma was a weapon of war made by the Mach people. And like I said, the Machi are the originators, the progenitors of black magic, I think. And they also progenited void summoning. So we kind of got the demonologists, and we get more info on. So not only is there a lore going on, there is a lot of it's also tied into the actual character's story. So it's not like the lore is happening in the background. And not to mention, it's a story that is connected to other stories in the Realm Reborn. Because we got both Diablo... sorry. Because we got Diablos, who was the boss of a dungeon, and we got Ferdiad, who was also another boss. And both of them actually got cutscenes after you beat their dungeons. So not to mention, this storyline further plays into the Boja storyline. So not only is it playing into lore and story that has already been happening, it also lays down the foundation for a future story that ends. That is the end of it. So, I think mostly because of just how much, there is in the Shadows of Mach series, I kind of want to replay it again. I'm going, and you know what? I'll go ahead and put Crystal. No, I think Crystal Tower might be a little weighed down by Delga and Une, because they don't feel as... You know what? I'll be nice to the Crystal Tower series, because I was, like, mean to it otherwise. I'll be nice to it, because, like, I think I remember crying at the end of it. I think I remember enjoying the dramaticness of it. I enjoy the lore and everything of Shadows of Mach, but I think I enjoy the dramaticalness of the story of Crystal Tower. You! I don't get to be nice to you. I'm not being nice to Return to Evilise. I was nice to it in my official rankings of the Alliance raid tiers. I was being nice to it in the tier list. I was being nice to it in the tier list. It can die here. Not... Return to Evilise suffers so much from having 3 completely unlikable bitches of protagonists. Dear God. I don't know what was going through Matsuno's head when he was making these characters. Because here's the thing, they're supposed to be Garleans. They're supposed to be racist. A little, as a treat. They get to be racist as a treat. Just a little, not too much. They get to be racist as a treat because they're like, you know, based on the Roman Empire and a little bit of Russia and a little bit of North Korea, in my opinion, because there's a little bit of brainwashing going on in Endwalker. It's there in Endwalker, straight up brainwashing is happening. But Ramza, his father, and his sister are all insufferable. But it's mostly Ramza. Ramza is the main character of the Return to Evil series because he shares the same name as the hero Ramza, who was in the War of the Lions, and who most other heroes after were kind of based off of. Like if you look at March, you're like, that is Ramza, but small. But the thing is, the Return to Evil Ramza is the most insufferable little bitch I have ever experienced in a game. Like, there's another character in the game. There's multiple actually well-written characters to hate. But I don't think Ramza was written with the intention to be hated. There's a difference between being written to be hated and just ending up being hated. Again, like, I will fully admit I might be influenced by the fandom on this one. Oh, ad break. I can go get water. Excuse me. Excuse me. Ad break. Welcome, VOD people. I'm back from break. Well, I'm back from getting water. I'm surprised this has ended up being 3 hours long. Maybe I will go do Thalia right after this, because I want everyone to experience it. But, thank you all for staying as long as you have, if you are watching. Mwah. Let's see here. Is anyone ready to throw hands with me, is the question. Is anyone willing to throw hands with me? No one is ready to throw hands yet. No one be throwing hands yet. Banana. Oh, dang it. Dang it. Banana, na, 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 na. Welcome back, everyone. Ad break has ended. Hope everyone enjoyed doing whatever they need to do, getting whatever they need to get. I'm just going to. I keep pressing done on my OBS like it's a save button. But as I was talking, done. As I was speaking, I'm done with Return to Evilise as like, because again, Ramza ends up being so hateable. I'm not sure if they're trying to write him as like an insufferable teenage prick. Which, if that was their goal, well done. Well done if your goal was writing Ramza as an insufferable teenage prick. I don't think it was. His father, Ramza's father, whose name I totally forgot, I want to say it's Rochambeau. But his dad, Rochambeau, Rosie O'Connell, Roseanne, Xanadu. His dad, it seems like, so obsessed with the past, the origins of the Evolution Knights, and like everything to do with Evilise's lore, because he like, I think he wrote a play based on the events of Tactics, Final Fantasy Tactics, and like he's rediscovering the history and what is actually true, and like he would like funded, or something happened to where we had to actually help him with all this Evilise bullshit. And it kind of feels like he's so absorbed in that it kind of ended up losing track of his own children. It kind of feels like he loves the theater and history more than he loves his own kids. Again, it's been a bit, but I know I don't like Ramza, and I have no feelings towards his father. And Alma, Ramza's sister, like all these, like both Ramza and Alma are named after the same characters in the original Tactics game, but because their father is a history nerd. But Alma is just not even a character, she's a plot device. She kind of suffers from Kyrie syndrome. Where, like, in the first game, Kyrie was there to be a goodness lamp. Kyrie was there to be a goodness lamp. She was there to be in a coma, and then to be a lamp of goodness, of kindness, of love for Sora. So, like, Alma is kind of just a lamp. She doesn't have a lot of character development. Like, all the character development is supposed to go to Ramza, it feels like, but he is such an awful character. Like, I want to give everyone the benefit of the doubt here, but these three characters are the main characters of the Return to Evilise series, so they're supposed to be carrying most of the story on their back. But it feels wasted on them. Like I said, Ramza does not feel like he was written to be hated. It feels like he was supposed to be written to be eventually loved over time, but here's the thing, he was not well written. He was not well written, so he ends up suffering. He ends up being insufferable. And here's the thing, there are other characters who are written to be hated. There's this character, his name is Valens von Vero, I think. Totally written to be hated. He abuses children. He even has, like, a catchphrase, burn out the bad. Burn out the bad. Which you can probably guess what happens. Especially since he deals mostly with children. There is Teleji Adeleji, who mostly is bad through money and making the main character suffer throughout the first act of the game. There are plenty. Oh, my bad. There are plenty of relevant characters who were written to be hated, or, well, were better written to be hated. They weren't meant to be understood. They were, I'm not sure if they were written to be hated, but technical issue, please stand by. Like I said, like, there's plenty of characters in Final Fantasy XIV that end up being hated, but only because you can't like them. Like, they are not, relatable. They are horrible, awful, unrepentant assholes. And like, you can... And like, here's the thing, like I said this in streams before, but I relate to Tsukiyomi because she's traumatized. The things that have happened to her are understandable, and why she ended up the way she is 100% understandable. She turned out awful because it's understandable. And you wanna know something? I'm glad she killed the people who made her awful. And like, here's the thing, she did not have problems with the entire race of Doma people. It just ended up how she ended up coping. She was put in a place of power and made people suffer. And you know what? You put a person who deals with their depression in their life through anger. They survive through pure anger, but they just cannot get out of the pure anger phase. And you put that person in a position of power, they're gonna still be angry, and they're gonna use that power. Like, I understand Tsukiyomi because I was that person. However, Valens von Vero, Teleji Adeleji, and like a few other characters, they were written to be absolutely trash people. You don't want them to be nice. And there are morally gray people written into the story. Now you're like, I kinda wish they didn't exist, but the world will be more awful without them. And it's like, yeah, it's like there are multiple characters written to be hated, and there are some characters who are written to be hated, but you understand why they need to exist. Because if they didn't exist, the world would be much more horrible without them. But, Ramza, I don't know what went wrong there. Because it wouldn't have taken much, it's just that they made him such an insufferable little prick. Like, that man deserves to be called cunt, and not positively. It's not cunt affectionate, it's cunt derogatory. It's like, he's not serving cunt, he is a cunt. Oh, something's happening. Sorry, I'm like distracted. But no, Return to Ivalice, and I will also bring this up, Cid. Cid is in both of the stories. Cid is in not only the Alliance Raid story of Stormblood, which is Return to Ivalice, but he's also in the Omega series. And it honestly feels like both series end up suffering because he needed to be in both stories. And I feel like because his presence was in Return to Ivalice, they needed him. Which I feel like they really didn't. But because I'm pretty sure they introduced Makoto into Return to Ivalice, and that becomes important in Boja. they needed Sid. Because, like, in order to do Boja, the Return to Evilly story is important. And again, Boja itself. Boja is better than Return to Evilly's, like, in terms of story. But not by, like, miles. No, I liked Boja's story, I'll be real. But Return to Evilly's is just suffering because of Ramza. Okay, your hot dog apocalypse. I'm going to be spicy. I'm going to say the spicy thing. I'm going to put this in A. Oh my god. The just gigantic jump, the nothingness between D and A. The gigantic nothingness between D and A. But, a lot of people have issues with your hot dog apocalypse because it's not lore to the first, because it is an Alliance Raid series that happens on the first, for those of you who don't know. Thank you, whatever, thank you! You subscribed with Prime too? OMG! OMG, my first Prime subscription! And for 2 months! Ah! Thank you, you are too kind to me. You're way too kind. Thank you, forevers. Thank yous. And also, you got to finally hear my subscription noise. You finally got to hear my subscription noise. You really, yes, you are. You have my artist thing, you have my VIP thing, now you have my founder badge. Thank you forever. Thank you forever, whatever. At least you subscribe with Prime. I'm assuming you just had a Prime subscription. Lying around. But, I'm going to be, like, 100% real. Oh, what am I doing? I'm, like, so surprised by that. I will love you forever. I love you forever and ever. I'm going to get parasocial with my audience. But, truth be told, okay. So, as I was saying, most of Final Fantasy XIV takes place on the source. And, like, there are these pocket dimensions, 14 pocket dimensions, that are also a part of the planet, but they're also their own part of the planet, basically. And so, all of Shadowbringers, well, most of Shadowbringers, like, there's post-expansion pack stuff that takes place on the first. But 99% of Shadowbringers and most of its extra content take place on the first. And, a lot of people complain about how Yorha is just this shiny crossover event, and it stole lore, the possibility for new lore from their first. But I don't think people realize how much lore has been crammed into every single part of the first, and into every single part of extra content related to the first, and just how much lore there actually is, and how there isn't really much to explore in terms of the first, in terms of lore. Like, people are like, oh, this stole something from us, like, okay, a little bit of spoilers, the Eden raids. cover not only the first Sin Eater, but also the events of what caused the apocalypse of the first a little. There is the Shadowbringers Wolcrest lines that cover every single backstory of every single member of the first Warriors of Light. And if you continue, and if you do all the quest lines, and then do like the post quest lines, they will cover what caused the apocalypse in even more detail. Like what happened to the last bits of darkness on the first, because the first what nearly died in Apocalypse of Light. And like I said, like, there's so much lore covered already. I don't think the Yorha raid could have really taken anything away, because nearly everything was covered. And like, the world was already apocalyptic. Like, there wasn't much space to like go somewhere. Unlike all the other raids where, okay, so like, all the Crystal Tower raids, 2 of them take place in the Crystal Tower itself. 1 of them takes place in the Void on the 13th. The Shadows of Mock raids, 1 of them takes place on the Void Arc. 1 of them takes place in some ancient ruins of a city. And the last raid takes place, I think, in... It's either... No, it can't be the Void. It's just, it takes place in more ruins. So, like, all the Dunscape raids explore more of Eorzea. The Return to Evilise raids explore Evilise the country, which is... I think they explore Evilise. Like, I'm like 90%. I'm like 99% sure. So, like, and I will spoil Mess of the Realm. Well, they explore the gods' realms. So, like, all these places explore either one place or... they either explore one place or they explore, like, I don't want to say fictional places, but mythological places. Or they explore parts of Eorzea. And, like, like I said, not only did Yorha not take anything, it didn't really take up that much space. Like, all the raids are literally right next to each other. And like, I'm angry about this because this is a prevalent opinion in some forums that Yorha, the Dark Apocalypse raids took away from the first. But again, like, the first is so jam-packed with lore. It's like, you literally touch on lore every single quest, every single place has something. What could we have taken away? What did Yorha take away? What did the crossover take away? It couldn't take away anything because everything was covered, in my personal opinion. Like, I haven't even done all the quests in Shadowbringers. I haven't even done all, like, the non-blue quests, the non-active quests. But even with, like, just the lore and the MSQ alone, I feel like everything in the first was touched and handled. like, what, like, I'm pretty sure if you ask people, oh, what's your idea for an alliance raid on the first? Because we literally covered most of the big things. We covered most of the big threats. We covered a lot of them, actually. And we covered them multiple times. Like, a lot of people feel like I'm ranting here, but I want to rant. I feel like if there was any point, we could have had a crossover event. Shadowbringers was a nice spot to have it. Shadowbringers was a nice spot to have it. Now, they could have had an Alliance Raid series back on the source, where Eorzea is and all the other countries, where like most of the main world is. But that's where they were already doing Boja. That was where the Trials series was, the extra side series Trials. So it's like, I kind of like I said, I feel like, and thank you for the Tamagotchi that I stretched and drank. I'll drink some more though. Because like my throat is kind of dry. I've been on like a sugar rush for the past few days since Halloween, trying to get rid of everything in the house that has sugar or is sweet. But again, I'm ranting, but I feel like people want to mock the Yorha raids for... Yeah, that's me right now too. Yeah, I'm speedrunning to diabetes. Like if a diabetic bit into me right now, I'm pretty sure I kill him. But a lot of people are like, Yorha took away from us. It's just this meaningless crossover. I just feel like there was literally nothing that we could have covered that would have already been covered. I will probably ask in the forum what they would have wanted as an Alliance Raid series. Speak of the devil, we're listening to a remix of Nier music. Thank you, Satan, for whispering so sweetly to me. Da, 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 da. Turn up the jam. I'm turning up the jam. Da, 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 da. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's Nier is my hyperfixation. I'm sorry. Nier is the hyperfixation. Like I loved Replicant, but Automata has changed me irrevocably. Automata has changed me irrevocably. But to actually get onto the story, because I can talk all day about problems of the community. The issues I have with the issues. That's what I'll say. The issues of the issues. But, I actually enjoy this story a lot. You can tell Yoko Taro had his hand in writing the story. Because there is so much of his humor in the storyline. Like some of the stuff is straight up Nier. Like you can tell his Drakengard humor was coming through. You can be a little crass when you answer people. Like, it's amazing. And like, you can see it. You can flipping... Hold on. Am I coming in through? I'm not sure. Let me, there we go. Oh no, I'm in the red. I I worked with some things so I won't get in as much background noise. So I'm sorry if my voice is coming in through weirdly. I can't control it at the moment. I have to speak at a certain volume. But as to the actual story, again, very Yoko Taro, and like, I feel like people get wrapped too much in complexities of his stories and overlook that it's like a love story. Like, at the heart of Drakengard, at the heart of Nier Replicant and Nier Automata, they're all love stories. They're just love stories wrapped in apocalyptic packaging. Like, yeah, and Nier Replicant, Nier Gestalt are about about living in an apocalypse and the upcoming new apocalypse, but they're about being in love with a new with a lover, being in love with your family, with your friends, being in love. Automata is about, again, love. Although there is more focus on the philosophy and, you know, robots, androids. When you have robots and androids as main characters, you definitely are attending to the philosophy more. But I feel like that just plays more into the love story of... If you played Nier Automata, you know the love story. But I do feel like Nier Automata, out of most of the Drakengard series, the Drake and Nier series, is definitely the one that mostly gets out of the love story more. I get mixed up with Code Vein for some reason. I think because vampires also have a lot of humanism metaphors. Nier Automata, Code Vein, kind of sounds similar. Like they give off similar vibes. And like I said, Code Vein is about vampires. Oh well, vampires. Vampires, parentheses. I mean, vampires, quotation marks. And vampires tend to be very, used in very similar manners to robots and androids in stories. Like, there's a lot of humanism, a lot of, are we actually human anymore? Like, whatever you can do with a robot, you can probably do with a vampire. It's just that you're going to hit different aesthetics and different tropes. Though Nier Automata and Code Vein hit very similar aesthetics. Like, I think, I think the fashion of Nier Automata, for the female characters at least, was inspired by, fetish wear, I think. I think there was a popular fetish wear fashion show that started before Yoko Taro was in concept designing. I'm not 100% sure. But to be fair, he wrote, I think he wrote the stage play first, the backstory for A2, which ended up being a stage play, and then he made Nier Automata. So the interesting thing is that we actually got would be considered more side content first, and then we got the main game. But usually whatever you can do with really humanoid robots is something you can do with vampires. They definitely walk the same tropes if you need them to. And I'm pretty sure in Code Vein they definitely do walk the are we even human anymore path. But But Your Hot Dark Apocalypse is just another love story wrapped up in complexities, and I think people overlook that because, you know, it's near. It's near. It's meant to be convoluted. It's like, no, please don't. You're just being like that for the fun of it. Ah. Okay, Miss of the Realm. I don't really want to spoil this much more than I have, so I'm going to have put it in A, because it just ties into Endwalker really well. I like the characters. Like I said, I don't want to talk about too much because I'm afraid of spoiling it. Especially since, like the main problem I have with the Mist of the Realm is that I feel like it could have been more. That's the only issue I have with Mist of the Realm, why it's NA and not S. With Nier Automata, it's an A because again, I felt like it could have been more. And while I also agree it could have been replaced with something more lore reliable, I'm also just like, it did need to be more lore reliable. It didn't need to add more lore. We have enough lore on the first. Go to the first. Try not to step in some lore. There's puddles of it. And you wanna know what those puddles lead to? They're ponds. They're those, they're not actually puddles. They're those puddles, they're those ponds, they're those oceans that look like puddles. You're gonna need to be spending all day swimming in it. Ugh. Again, I'm pissed. I'm pissed about the Nier allegations. The Nier allegations have left me angry. But a Miss of the Realm could have been more. And I'm not afraid to say it. It could have been more. And like, but I did cry. I did almost cry. So it's near an S. Like like me putting near the Nier story and A is me trying to be unbiased. I think Miss of the Realm could be an S, but I personally don't want to put it an S. Because I felt like there's not as much... it's... it's not standalone. It's not as standalone as Shadows of Mach. Like, Miss of the Realm is very much a this ties into main story, which is good. I like that about Endwalker. I like that it ties into Endwalker. It ties into everything. But it's like... you know what? I think I'm letting the actual raids... I think I'm actually letting the actual raids color me, influence me a little. You know what? It'd probably be an A+ or an S-. I feel like I could use a mid-tier here. I feel like there could be a middle tier here. Mostly because, like, I want to rate it above Yorha because I'm trying to look at Yorha unbiased. But, Miss of the Realm, I just feel like there could be more, but I still wholly enjoyed it. Again, like, Crystal Tower itself could be an A. Because, like, I don't remember everything. I think I'm putting Miss of the Realm an A because it requires you to get attached to side characters in another place. And that's why. It requires more effort. Like, it ties into the series, all of it as a whole. But, it requires more effort. And it doesn't stand on its own. And Return to Evilise can just die. A lot of Stormblood just suffers because there's just one character. Okay. Story. Okay. I think I was going to play the layer for you all, but I actually ended up going over what I suspected. I ended up going well over what I thought. I guess talking about Nier and Evilise really filled in that time. I guess Nier and Evilise really took it out of me. So, we... and I'm not going to talk much more because I've said my piece. And I hope my piece makes everyone not be in peace. I hope my piece makes everyone feel uncomfortable. Okay. Okay, my piece left them in pieces, exactly. That's what I want. I want my piece to leave everyone else in pieces. Oh wow, there is not a lot of people on tonight. What is wrong? Okay, Ink for Justice is playing Persona 5. We have Carnivore Crow, Dead by Daylight, Azazel. I don't wanna... Been a while since I actually, did anything. You know what, we'll do, Ink for Justice, cause, it's been a bit since we, rated them, I think. But yeah, I said my piece. It'll leave you in pieces. I've been spicy. I've talked enough. Do y'all want me to talk more? Do you want a summary? The summary was, Evilise sucks. The story sucks. Ramsay's a prick. But the raids themselves serve cunt. The raids themselves serve cunt. Ramsay is a cunt, but the raids serve cunt. And I'm angry about Nier being lambasted by the fandom. That's my piece. That's my piece. But I hope everyone had a good time. I did. I want to do more streams where it's just me chilling, talking to you guys. But thank you for your time. I hope it was well spent. I love you guys. Thank you for taking care of me. Hope I took care of you. Bye. Farewell. And may I see you again soon. Mwah. Bye.